This 26 Sports and CCTV high school football presentation is brought to you by Cadillac Casting Incorporated.
Welcome back, everybody, to fourth quarter action here from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Dan Gussert and Bill Dooley bringing you the action, and it's a great game. It's kind of been a tale of two cities, with Cadillac dominating that line of scrimmage in the first half with a 21-6 lead, and now coming back defensively, the Wolverines have stopped Cadillac's running game, and then they've put on an aerial attack to pull within one.
They have, and it hasn't. I mean, there's been some deep throws. It's been a lot of throws out into the flats, where they can get the ball into the skill players that they have, and the talent that they have.
There's a pitch to Clark, but wrapping him up right there for a big loss. I think that was number 60, Owen Klaus, and he was our player profile.
It was a slow pitch. Once again, it was a snap. He had a hard time controlling before he made that pass or that pitch, and Klaus was reading that all the way, so he had no trouble making that play.
Second down and 15. Big play there by the Viking defense. And you would think this is a passing down for the Wolverines. And they split everybody. All of the personnel are out.
I've got a little cough going in the background here. I appreciate you, Bill, taking over as much for me as you can here.
That's all right. We've got Xavier in the backfield in the shotgun. He's looking to pass. Over the middle. Oh, and he's sacked. Brought down there by the Vikings, Owen Klaus.
Klaus back to back.
Wow.
This keeps up. We might see another 3rd and 50. Nice play in Owen. And all the Vikings. I mean, they had solid coverage in the backfield right there. And that allows him to do that. And he was right there. I mean, he just.
Yeah. Xavier as soon as he went to pass, he was kind of vulnerable at that point. He couldn't protect himself, and Klaus just wrapped him up.
He got off the ball really well, beat his guy, and was in the backfield so fast.
So we do have a 3rd and 29 here. You'd think prevent defense. First down would be all the way to the Cadillac 45. 10-20 to go here in the game. Taking the snap is Xavier. He's going to go out into the flats this time.
There's the screen set up again, but the Vikings have it well read.
They do, but bouncing out into the middle. Oh. And a big hit there. Is the ball loose?
I don't think so.
No, okay. They were just, that was Simerson. Dakota Simerson laid a licking on Clark.
And give him a lot of credit, because that play looked dead 20 yards away from him. He was, up towards the quarterback. And he continued to make the play. He just drifted back into position, and he gets to have one of those hits you kind of dream of.
Right.
You catch the defender not knowing you're coming.
And Clark hold on to it. Well, that was a great job.
And he popped right back up. Tough kid.
So looks like Marcel Johnson will be kicking for the Fighting Wolverines. Johnson gets it off quickly because Owen Klaus was right there. And it doesn't go very far. It goes backwards.
Backwards on the bounce, too.
Oh, they gained maybe 10 yards on that?
Yeah, Terrence Moore grabs it on mid-bounce, or they would have lost more.
That was heading fast the other way. So, 9:20 to go in the game. The Vikings are in Wolverine territory. It's 21-20.
This is where we saw the Vikings last week. Take control on the offensive line and eat up a ton of clock. The way Wyoming, you and I have been talking off air, I keep thinking Muskegon Heights. This is Wyoming Godwin Heights. The way they're pinching the middle of the field, I don't think Cadillac can do that tonight.
Here's a handoff up the middle, a couple yards for, I'm going to guess, Colin Johnston. Yep. He's been a workhorse for him tonight.
He has been.
And he's a freshman.
Yep.
I think that's
strong kid. You can tell. Kid. He doesn't often get knocked down on the first contact at all.
No.
And he usually falls forward when the play ends.
Vikings in a little bit different setup here. Tip Baker is getting him loose, and he's all the way down, close to a first down. Now that was a Houdini act right there.
That's a great individual effort right there. That play was broken up really well by Godwin Heights. Baker made a miss, and then you can see his quick feet also. He's a big, strong kid, but he is fast-footed too.
Yes. So it's 3rd and 3, a manageable 3rd and 3. Baker tried to draw off the defense. He'll take a look at his playbook there, take his time. Baker, quick handoff. They read that well. Colin Johnson's, he's going to be about a yard shy.
And that might have been the first time I think I've seen him tonight not fall forward, Bill. Oh, nice job right there.
Now, where are they going to mark this one, Dan? It's, okay, so they have to get to the 39. So, yes, it's 4th and a short 2. Even if they don't make it, they're, it's not like they're in bad position here. The Wolverines are stacking the middle. Tip Baker.
Yep.
He is just swarmed under.
That brought a big round from the radio crew here behind us. They're very excited on that play.
Right.
7:22 to go, and
Jaquan Johnson led the attack, number 55. There was three players in on him, but
they're
keying. They are keying on Tip Baker right now.
Baker and Johnson, and they're winning that line of scrimmage battle. And it's almost like there's too many of them up there right now for the Vikings to block.
Right.
They're not getting off the ball like they had. But you know what? The defense the last 2 possessions has stood pretty strong here.
Yep.
Hopefully they can do that again.
The wind is a factor right now, Dan, as far as the passing game goes, because they are throwing into a pretty stiff breeze. We've got Xavier McDonald and Clark. Deontay Clark in the backfield. Xavier will swing it out, this time to Kalen Brown. Brown is wrapped up by Tip Baker, and he'll just dance him out. That was a loss or no gain.
You know, when we made that reception, it looked like he was going to pick up a few yards. Baker wins the one-on-one battle. And that's exactly what Godwin Heights is trying to do, is to create those one-on-one battles.
They got to get a block on Tip, though. He has so many times tonight he's been able to. I mean, that's his assignment, is to cover the swing pass, and not too many times has he been blocked. 2nd down and 9, so it was a 1-yard gain. Kalen Brown split out to the right with C.J. Weems, number 8, split way out here to the left.
It surprised me to see them go up the middle with a run here, Bill. We haven't seen that in a little bit.
Right.
There it is.
Here it is. And he goes up the middle, but maybe 1 yard there. He's a little bit slow getting up.
Started right, come back left, that little counter play, and the Vikings were ready for it.
Nice call there, Coach.
Yeah.
So this is a big play defensively, because if the Vikings can hold them, you would imagine a punt with 6 minutes, though. Although, you never know with 6 minutes to go.
If it's 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, I think you're punt.
Yes.
If it's, 4th and 9, 4th and 10. But if it's 4th and 2 or 3, you might see them go for it.
Yep. So they've got Clark as the running back next to Xavier McDonald.
I think I'm going to Brown if I can find him out there. And I'd be wrong.
This time he's bombing it down for number 8. He's got some space, and it is knocked loose at the last second, underthrown. The wind.
I think it was the wind. I think also C.J. Weems, number 8, just kind of overran it a little bit. Looked like he maybe had a hard time picking up the ball. Flight. If he slows down a little bit and waits for that to come down, he's going to get the pass interference call.
Right. I was going to say, because Juju Noriega was there in his way if he slows down, but I don't think he looked back for the pass. He could have, like you said, he could have got called for if there was contact.
Yep.
So they are going to punt, and Marcel Johnson, number 16, at least they're in the punt formation here.
Close was close last time to blocking this, but they don't rush as strong this time.
Nice punt. Watch out here. Oh. That's twice where either team has been very close to having the ball hit them on, and then it's a live ball at that point.
And and you see that in high school football. That's not something. I mean, obviously they work on that, practices and whatnot. It's just something they haven't done a lot in their lives, and they're young kids, and sometimes they make choices that frustrate you as parents, players, fans.
Well, for one thing, the punts are always either low line drives
Yeah.
or short, so the coverage is always
Right
where
there.
the ball is going to be. I mean, it's not like the pros where they boom at 50 yards every
And you
time,
got
and
a
it's
lot of
either a
time,
fair
yeah.
catch or you can
Yep.
have a cup of coffee on those. But
So the Vikings, they need a first down, Bill.
yes, they just at least need to chew some clock up.
There's
Here's
the
a pitch
I
out.
thought maybe we'd see.
Yep,
And
Barshevsky, but covered well there.
he might be hurt, Bill. He looks like he's down right now. He's getting up. We'll see what happens.
Number 4, that's Clark with a good open field tackle.
Yeah.
Is
He's
that
a-
Clark?
Yeah. I think we're going to see a hold here against the Vikings, or maybe a block in the back. It is a hold.
Ooh.
And
Okay, that stops the clock too,
Yep.
which you don't want.
the Vikings, they're in good shape. They're up by 1 with 5:25 to go, and they're going backwards here. But they can pick up this first down. They just need to get a little bit at a time. I guess I'm thinking somehow keep the ball into Baker's hands.
Remember earlier on we
Or look for Hyde out wide.
yeah.
Some kind of a throw to him. See what they do here.
Boy,
They
they're
set
really
interior.
they're just stacking it right up
Yeah.
near the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
The Vikings will hand it right up the middle
Johnson.
and nothing going there at all. Yeah, nice tackle there by Marcel Johnson, as Colin Johnston has had tough going here in the second half. And remember, the Wolverines had called an early timeout here in the second half, so they're down to 2. That could
That's
be
right.
a factor,
That's right.
you know what I mean, when it gets down to crunch
absolutely.
time. You can see the mist right now driving in front of the lights.
Yeah, they've had a harder time throwing into this wind here in the fourth quarter compared to what happened there in the third quarter.
Second down and 18. The Vikings need to get a good 5 or 6 yards at least here. Tip Baker, boy, he did not even have a chance, and he
Nope.
was tracked down by number 9.
That's Malcolm Goins.
Malcolm Goins. I think he was in the backfield right with the snap. Who else is on the ground there? Is that 17, Marcel Nealon? They are just blowing through the line
Yeah,
in
they
this
are.
half.
They are. Well,
I mean, Tip got the ball and he was racing back, but he didn't have a prayer on that.
I don't know about you, Bill, but I find this point of the game, and especially in a close battle like this is hard to announce because I want to just watch.
Yeah, right.
There's so many fun things out there seeing going on, and the intensity and the effort and the different strategies.
Here's
the
a
middle.
give up the middle.
It's a good safe call right there, trying to get a couple of yards.
Yep, maybe eat up a
Wind the
little
clock
bit
down.
more time.
Yep. You got the wind at your back for the punt.
Clock is ticking down, 3.5 to go. Cole Flint will take as much time, I'm sure, as they can. You might even want to run it down and call a timeout with 1 second. You've got 3 timeouts, but I don't know
if I want to use the timeout here, Bill. I may be thinking I might have to save this in case
they take the
get
lead.
some points.
Looking for the block. They're racing in, and he gets one off.
Good
It
punt, too.
It might have been just tipped a little bit, so it's going to nice bounce there for Cadillac. All the way down as Mario Cerna was there, and it was downed by Ryan Cox with 3:08 to go, and they've got about 64 yards, Dan. This is a great ending to the game. 21-20, the Vikings lead. And you are watching this incredible action on 26 Sports and CCTV as Dan Gussert and Bill Dooley are bringing you the action. And next week is homecoming for the Vikings as they'll play the Blue Devils. And we have to get Tip Baker in here too, Dan, as soon as we get a chance. He is somewhere. I know we have him. He's on a different.
We got to get Tip out here. There we go.
Now looking for the pass. Way downfield. He's got a man with a stride, and he goes up, and he makes the catch.
And out of bounds right away.
And he goes out of bounds. Was that Kalen Brown? Oh, what an acrobatic catch that was by Brown.
Tip Baker, one of our player profiles. His parents are Melinda Martin Baker here and Todd Baker. Tip's siblings are his older sister Mary Murray, who's an engineer for GM. Older brother's TJ, who's down at CMU, and younger brother, 8th grader Tegan. Besides football, Tip plays baseball and track. And I think that should be basketball and track. Tip's a member of NHS. They're always busy with tutoring and cleaning sections of surrounding hallways. In his spare time, Tip likes to hang out with his family and friends along with preparing for sports. His favorite professional athlete is Peyton Manning,
All right.
but the athlete he looks up to the most is his older brother, TJ.
Oh, a low snap, but Xavier's got it, and he airs it out down the middle, and
Great coverage there.
Yeah, it was Tip Baker had position. Good no call by the referee, sorry.
After high school, Tip wants to attend college for something in medical or the engineering fields, and maybe hopefully play some football or basketball. Congratulations, Tip Baker, for being one of our player profiles.
Wow. Yeah, that was pretty cool, too. Look, for his athlete, the one that he really looks up to is his older brother, TJ. So it is now 2nd down and 10, just under 3 minutes to go. We did him.
We did.
Okay, it is 2nd down and 10, and the Wolverines are on the Cadillac 37-yard line. Shotgun formation for Xavier McDonald. He's got Clark right next to him to the right. Another low snap.
He gets hit as he throws it, Bill. I'm sorry to interrupt
you. He's looking down. There is a catch, but is he out of bounds?
Boy, I don't know. That looked like contact ahead of time there, too,
It
Bill.
sure did. And what number do we have there? Was that Lewis Richardson? Yes, that was Lewis Richardson who hauled it in, and he was close. He must have been just touching the line.
And maybe that was the call. Maybe it was out of bounds before the pass got there, and we just can't see that. The official was right there.
Yep.
3rd and 10.
This is definitely 4-down territory for the Fighting Wolverines. The Vikings. Who has been 43 is Green. He's out on the corner along with Cole Flint.
Yep. Tip Baker playing in the middle of the field.
Xavier looking for the safe pass here, and he's drilled as soon as he catches it. Keeps him in bound. Cole Flint, nice job.
That clock is going to keep right on going. That brings up 4th and about maybe 4 yards, Bill. This could be the play of the game right here. The Vikings stop them. We have a timeout. Wyoming's called their 2nd timeout.
Okay, and that's a good call by Coach Kimball. And while we do have a second here, I want to see if we can get a shout out to our crew and our sponsors. Our crew tonight, why don't you?
Sure, we'll get that. Everybody, Wyatt Van Dynen's in the truck tonight directing everything as he does a fantastic job each and every week. And doing the graphics is Aiden Johnson.
Nope.
Oh,
replay.
I'm reading the wrong list, Bill.
Sorry.
I grabbed an old list.
Get that one out of here.
Doing the graphics tonight is Isabel Granados. Our cameras are Aiden Johnson. Camera crew is Aiden Johnson, Gabby Long, and Bryce Emery. And I hope they're staying warm out there.
And congratulations to our player profiles tonight. We had Tip Baker. We had Ethan Pritchard,
yeah.
Matthew Green,
and
Owen Klaus.
Owen Klaus
was the last one.
And certainly we want to thank our sponsors out there tonight. Pizza Plus, Doug Glass, LC Materials, Fox Motors here in Cadillac, Cadillac Tire, and our presenting sponsor on the screen in front of you, everybody, is Cadillac Casting.
All right, hold on to your britches. We've got a 4th and 4 with 2:29 to go on the Cadillac 27. Vikings defense digging in. Xavier is the Vikings jump.
Drew him
they got him off. Looked like they had a blitz called, maybe.
Yeah, that's all right. You know what? It's going to give them the 1st down. It's a mistake, but you forget it and you play the next 2:29.
Yep.
Make up for it.
Very good call there by Xavier to pull him off sides. And they'll move the sticks with 2:29. They've got 1 timeout now left.
1 timeout, 2:29 to go, which is a lot of time for this team.
And the clock is stopped every time, the markers are moved too.
Yeah.
So
Just if you're Wyoming, you don't want to make the big mistake at this point. You know,
Take care of the ball.
Incomplete pass doesn't hurt you. Any of those
Right.
kinds of things. You don't want to lose 15 yards. You don't want to fumble. You don't want to make a throw into tough coverage.
So McDonald along with Clark next to him. Snap is good. Xavion looks right. He's got a man open, and did he over?
Out of bounds.
Oh.
Marked him out. Nope. Yep.
It was good coverage. I didn't see any contact on it, but
Little double move right there by Kalen Brown, and the first out and then up, and set it up pretty well, and just ran out of field over on the far sideline right there, right in front of that official, knocked the pylon over.
I'm just still amazed at Xavion. Even the passes that are incomplete or just out of bounds, it's right on the money. I mean, he's putting it right where he has to. So 2nd down and 10. Clock is stopped on the incomplete pass. That didn't eat up any time, hardly.
Bill, you and I have been pretty lucky here the last 2 football Friday nights here on 26 Sports and CCTV, as we've had just games come down to the wire. 2 great games back to back.
1-point games. Here's a fake handoff. Looking to run on the right side is Xavion. He's got some space. He cuts it to the 10, and he's going to take it into the house. Touchdown, Xavion McDonald, number 5.
And he goes a little over 20 yards right there.
But they left the Vikings
Lots
with
of time, yeah.
lots of time and 3 timeouts. Okay. So after the extra point attempt here, we're going to get a replay on that touchdown. He had been passing almost every
sold
play.
That fake really well,
Yes.
Bill.
Oh.
He just, put the ball on his hip, faked the handoff,
Yep.
kind of rolled gingerly to his left, and then took 2 big strides, and away he went.
You know, if Xavion wasn't their starting quarterback at the beginning of the season, he sure has made a statement here, hasn't he?
Big
Okay.
2-point conversion here.
Clark will get it. He's going to run to the right where all of his blockers are, and he'll make it into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And it is now going to be a 7-point game, 28-21, with 2:15. No time right off the clock there, Dan. It
was
doesn't
2:15 when he scored 2. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So they didn't
They
take
don't
any.
run that on.
Oh,
that.
they don't run it on an extra point.
Nope.
Okay.
Clock does not run on a 2-point or a
con-
single-point conversion.
All right, thank you.
And here's that replay.
Here is the replay.
Look at him go.
There was a good block.
Yeah, I couldn't catch that receiver there.
C.J. Weems, I believe, number 8. Or
23 was
23.
that? John Michael Lewis.
Yep.
Not sure which of those 2 it was.
Michael. And I know C.J. was in the vicinity there. We're going to give them both some credit there for Jamichael Lewis and C.J. Weems. Now this is a critical kickoff. The Vikings want to get some good field position. Who do they have back? They've got Barshevsky, and is that Hyde?
Yeah, looks like it.
And the up back is Colin Johnson in the middle if they want to try and go short with it.
Yeah. Once again, Edwin Daniels kicking off. Vikings do have all 3 timeouts. Gets a long run for a kickoff here. Up to that ball.
Yeah. Marcel Johnson, number 16, will do the kicking duties. Puts a foot into it. It's low, and that's going to go out of bounds at the 35.
That's
so do
not
you make
what they
them?
wanted.
No. Do you make them re-kick?
The Vikings chose early in the game to make them re-kick and picked up about 10 to 15 yards of field position on that. I think I do it again.
Do they have to move back 5 yards when they
Yes.
re-kick?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so there goes the 5 yards to the 35.
We'll see how this all worked out. I think that ball went out of bounds about the 32 or 33 yard line.
Correct. I mean, he's got the foot to, but you've got the wind too, and a driving mist.
Yep. And the field's been beaten up a little bit and slippery right now. That all makes a difference in how they approach us. The Vikings creeped up a little more into this wind. Flag is really blowing hard right now, Bill.
Yeah, right. Okay, Marcel. This time boots it high. The wind is knocking it down, but
that's a live ball.
Oh, that's right. Thinking about an outside kick.
Yeah, that's a live ball. The Vikings pick up the 5 yards. So
yep.
I guess the clock doesn't really run on the first attempt. They reset it. So it only takes 4 seconds. The Vikings pick up those extra 5 yards. 2:11 to go.
Yeah, and 3 timeouts. So if they need to go about 62 yards for the Vikings, a field goal won't do it for them. They need 7. So they'll need at least the extra point, too, on the touchdown, because that 2-point conversion was huge.
And unfortunately for them, they have not been able to do anything here in the second half against this Wyoming
Shotgun
defense.
formation for Baker, maybe the first time. Baker looking downfield, and he's got his man Logan Wild at the midfield. I think it's a first down, and he goes out of bounds.
Yeah, that is a first down, and he's out of bounds. He's about the 49-yard line. Good call there, Bill. Good eyesight.
Good pressure, too, by the defense. He didn't have much time to think about it.
And a little different look, going shotgun gives Baker an extra second or two to look over the rush and certainly where his players are out on the field looking for a pass.
To Baker this time. Out to the left. There's a nice pass. Oh, and it was dropped by Green,
good
I
diving
believe.
effort, just not able to hold on to it.
Yeah. He put it where he had to because he had a defender right on his hip pocket.
Yep.
Second down and
He's
10.
got a lot more time to throw out of the shotgun. I think this is a good call by the coaching staff right here. Baker's coming over to the sideline to get this play call.
Now, I asked this question before. Do you know what the play clock is for high school?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't think you have to worry about it.
No, I was just talking if you were trying to eat up time. If
Right.
it's 45 seconds, 30,
We might
a
have to
minute.
talk to Fred Bryan about that here maybe sometime.
This time it'll go under center.
I'm surprised he did.
Down the sidelines, and it's almost picked off and then almost caught. It was Kalen Brown who tipped it, and Matthew Green, or was that Barshevsky?
I'm a little surprised they went back under center.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot harder for Baker to read the defense as he's moving back because the Wyoming defensive line is right there with him again.
Well, we've got 2 tries to get 10 yards. So maybe you don't try and get it all in one bunch here. Maybe a draw play, too.
Well, that's what I wondered, if maybe we were going to see the ball go to Johnson again.
They got that middle filled up pretty good, though.
There's a screen,
breaking
Bill.
loose. Screen to Colin Johnson. He's got a lot of guys around him. He breaks through a couple, and he's brought down.
That's a good play. They didn't get the first down. They picked up 5.
Yeah.
The clock's running, but they got a lot of time. 140 in a short field and 3 timeouts yet, so kind of thought maybe we'd see it here since this is a
I'm
fourth
surprised
down
they're not
play.
going for a timeout.
No, we did get it.
Yes, okay.
Yep.
All right, so with a minute 33 to go in the fourth quarter, it is 28-21. Wyoming Godwin Heights Fighting Wolverines with the lead. You're watching high school football action on 26 Sports and CCTV. Dan Gussert along with Bill Dooley bringing you the action. And we couldn't do it without our crew. Wyatt Van Dynen as our director. Our replay and graphics is Isabeau Granados. Camera work, Gabby Long, Aiden Johnson, and Bryce Emery. They're braving the elements as we've got a
chilly night.
driving mist for most of this second half.
It hasn't cooled down the band. Their spirits are pretty high out here in front of us, Bill. They're getting ready to do a little post-game stuff and hopefully a victory post-game kind of thing, as the Vikings definitely have a chance here. 5 yards to go, fourth down. I like the play calls the last 2 possessions. We'll see what they do here. I have a feeling we might see them go for the whole thing right here.
They're going to go in shotgun formation. Colin Johnson is to the right. Johnson looking for block. There's a bullet, and it's intercepted.
Yeah, well read right there. That's number 20 for
Jaden Ivey.
Jaden Ivey.
The senior.
He's the senior. And that's going to probably seal the victory here as the Vikings are just down to 2 timeouts.
Right, it's going to be it'll be close, but you're right. They could almost, depending on how much is on, in between on the plays, but it is going to be 1st and 10 on a Ivy interception here in the fourth quarter. Did you see who the intended receiver was on that play?
I could not see who it was. Ivy had it well read. I don't know if he was just checking tip maker's eyes on that. I imagine that's what it was.
Yep.
So we'll see what Wyoming Godwin Heights, the Fighting Wolverines, choose to do here. If they're going to just
I wouldn't think they'd
run
put it up in the
middle,
air.
I wouldn't think they're going to throw. Yep.
Running right.
Yep.
Vikings will keep it from a short gain, and they'll stop the clock.
You know, anything can happen. They've had a few short snaps on this. They have not fumbled from it, but anything could happen. I was a little surprised that they went back to the shotgun and not a direct snap over center.
Next week we will be in
back here, right?
We'll be right back here for homecoming as the Gaylord Blue Devils will be coming to town against Cadillac. And did you say it was
the other truck's over in McBain?
McBain-Manton game?
And that is McBain-Manton, yes.
Okay. Do we have any updates on any scores?
I have a score I can share with you, which is from the music, but I don't know if that's a final yet. Oh, I just got that. Jeff Castillo just sent me a text. And Music wins that 26-20 over Marion. That was a good game to be at tonight.
Right. Pine River McBain, that's the one I'm really interested in.
I have not heard anything from there. So
come on, you've got some context down there.
It's probably a pretty close game. Nobody wants to look at their phone.
Yeah, Xavier burst through. You can see the Vikings trying to strip
that ball. Yep. 3rd and a couple. 1:17 to go. The Vikes used their last timeout.
Okay, so they can. The question is, if the Cadillac, if they do stop them, you almost have to punt, right?
Yeah, I think you do.
I mean,
yep. And I think you tell your punter, you know what? If it looks like it's going to be blocked, then you just let them tackle you.
Yes.
Don't,
Yep.
Don't have it. I think we just lost. Oh, I'm back. A little technical difficulty here all of a sudden. Bill, I'm hearing me pretty good. Are you hearing yourself?
I think we're back okay here. We're going to have to get a longer cord next week for one of the headsets.
1:17 to go, 28-21. Wyoming Godwin Heights with an awesome second half show of speed and athleticism have come back from a 21-6 deficit.
And if the Wolverines do happen to get a first down, that most definitely will seal it, because then they can just take a knee. All right, Xavier in the shotgun formation. The Vikings get back.
Offsides, yeah. You don't get to go back off. Oh, you don't get to go back in high school.
Not in high school.
You cross it, you're done.
Okay.
I think that ends it unless he was drawn off. I don't think that was the case. Yeah, it's a defensive offsides, and unfortunately for the Cadillac Vikings here, that'll give Godwin Heights the first down, and
they don't have to do anything but take a knee at this point.
Victory formation, yep.
So hats off to Godwin Heights. I mean, it wasn't looking good for them until Coach Brandon Kimball took them into the locker room, and whatever he said and whatever adjustments they made, that was really made a huge difference. So taking a knee right now with 1:13 to go. They'll have to snap it at least. I'm surprised they're still going shotgun. No. Did you notice that?
That does surprise me, yeah.
I mean, you just have a little bit more opportunity for a bad snap, unless you're right under center. But
I tell you what, that gentleman over the ball has done an outstanding job all night long.
Right.
He's probably had 35, 40 snaps in this game, maybe more.
Yeah, a couple low snaps for one sequence, and then after that, everything's been perfect. So they will put an extra back just in case there's a bad
I'm surprised
snap.
they didn't have them there in the first one.
Right. Rain is really driving down, and that will be the last.
Blown across now, Bill.
Yes, that will be the last play, and the weather is just coming out here. But the people, the hardy fans from Godwin Heights, they were rewarded, with a nice victory
Both
here.
Sets of fans were. This was a really good game, and the Vikings, they're going to come away with their 3rd loss of the season here. Is that right, or 4th?
This will be 1-4 for the Vikings. Yes,
but they've played an outstanding football program here. Playoff team the last 3 seasons. Played them very well here tonight, and unfortunately just came up a little bit short.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back for the post-game wrap-up. You are watching high school football action on 26 Sports and CCTV. Stay tuned for Dan and I. We'll be right back.